Berieshis bar Elokim. In the beginning, Hashem created the Shemayim va'aretz. Rashi, commenting on that very first pasuk in Chumash, says a interesting comment. He says, by all rights, the Torah should not have begun with Berieshis. By all rights, the Torah is a law book. It is a law of the chukim, the mishpatim, the various statutes and actions that we're supposed to be doing. It's not a storybook. And yet it begins with Berieshis. Why? Because if the goyim, if the Gentile nations will say to us, you've stolen the lands of various nations, we'll be able to say to them, Berieshis bar Elokim, Hashem created the Shemayim va'aretz. Hashem chose to give it to the Jewish people. It's His land. He gave it to us. We are not thieves. Rashi thereby explains why it is that the Torah begins with Berieshis. The Siftei Chachamim explains that there's actually a very, very deep concept that Rashi is explaining. He says that by all rights, all of Berieshis shouldn't be in the Torah. What Rashi is asking is that the Torah is a law book and all of the stories shouldn't be there. The reason the stories are there because the Torah began with Berieshis. Once it started as a chronological sort of expression, once it began with a storyline, it continued with the Avos, it continued with Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov. But in reality, all of the stories in the Torah shouldn't be there. It should be strictly a book of law. Yet why is it that the Torah began with these stories? It's for this single lesson to teach us that if the Gentile nations will say to us, you've stolen the land of the various nations, you'll be able to answer, Hashem wrote the Torah and Hashem gave it to us. This Rashi is rather perplexing, because if we're being told that the reason why Hashem changed the very nature of the Torah is so that the Gentile nations wouldn't accuse us of stealing their land, it would seem that the Torah failed in its mission. The main claim against Israel today is the fact that we've stolen the land of other nations. If in fact the entire reason why Hashem changed the very nature of the Torah is so that the Gentile nations won't accuse us, then it would seem that that was a failed mission. And I believe the answer to this question really is that the lessons in the Torah are not for the Gentile nations. The lessons are for us. If the Gentile nations turn to us and say, you stole the Torah, we need an answer, not for them, we need an answer for us. And I believe what the Siftei Chachamim is teaching us is that this is a fundamental concept. You see, if a person learned all of the Musar in the Torah, but felt that he was a thief, if we didn't feel justified in our being in that land, then the reality is we would think of ourselves as thieves, and a thief cannot grow. A thief cannot accomplish, because a thief is but a common criminal. And Musar needs a mensch, and a mensch needs Musar is a famous concept. The only person who could really grow, the only person who could reach heights of greatness is a person who understands that he's a mensch, that he's a person who understands that he's justified and correct in what he's doing. The reason why the Torah changed from a law book to a storybook is to give us that understanding that we're justified in what we're doing, because if we didn't have that very clear understanding, then we can never reach the heights of greatness for which we were supposed to be. This concept that at the end of the day a Jew must understand that he's entitled to what he's doing is one of the most fundamental concepts. And the great danger of stealing is A, you steal someone else's property, B, you damage yourself of your own dignity. You damage your own sense of who you are, and at the end of the day you're nothing but a common thief. This concept is so critical that Hashem changed the very Torah and began with Berieshis to teach us it.